Now the camera turned off. Right, we'll have another go. Right, how do? I am with Toby Cummins from the cold dark north, and I am being, well, treated to ride out in, well, I'm in Lancashire, we're in Lancashire.
Still in Lancashire, just.
We're looking at Yorkshire, and over there is my homeland, Cumbria. We're just discussing, can we remember the questions? They're both in our pockets, but I'm sure we'll be fine. Right, first question. How many have you done? How many Fred Whittons have you done?
I've done 2. So I did a 4 seasons ride about nearly 10 years ago.
Right, yeah. Was that with the dibber?
They didn't. The dibbers weren't working.
Oh,
Yeah, we did it, but yeah, I mean, in theory, it's that ride.
Yeah.
And we did the original route. So we went from Coniston, and did Hawkshead Hill and all that. So I've done the original route, although not on the day. And then I did last year's.
And we saw you.
We did.
Full gas up Holbeck Lane, shouting and jeering with your well, what can you call them? Something polite. Your camaraderie.
Yes. Well, we had. So I know what it's like. I'd marshalled the Fred the year before.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the year before because of COVID. It was
Indeed.
cancelled. But in the last previous running, I'd had the best marshalling spot on the course. So I had the descent down to Great Langdale.
Right.
Just after Clear Tarn.
Yeah.
And I'd spent the whole day ringing cowbells at people. My eldest boy came with us as well and stood out, and it was brilliant. It was a beautiful day. It was warm and sunny. Got sunburned, obviously. And we had a brilliant day. And I knew from that point what it was like going round, because obviously the 4 seasons, for those that don't know, is just you ride the Fred route whenever you like. You tap in at a couple of pubs and you get an official time, but you're not doing it on the same day as 2,500 other people and all the marshals and all that are. So I'd seen what it was like to have all the marshals out, which was just brilliant. So I thought, well, screw it, I'm going to go around with a cowbell this year and ring a cowbell for all the marshals.
So were you chief cowbell ringer? Because there was other people with you.
Yeah, I was the only one who had a cowbell with me.
Were you sharing the role, or did you have to do the whole way around?
You get about halfay up some of those climbs, ringing your cowbell, and you think, Christ,
did that affect your time?
Yeah, everything affects my time.
So you've done 2. Which one stands out in between the 2 of them then? Was it the one with when you're riding with everybody?
Experience-wise, the second one was better because it was just the experience of doing it on the day. I was much faster the first time.
Right. Interesting, because I don't know. I've never done it out, like, not in the day, so I wouldn't know.
I don't know. I mean, I think. Listen, both times were slow. I wasn't fast either time.
Well, we'll come to that. I think on question 5 maybe.
There we go.
Right. Well, skipping ahead then. Question 2. Which of the following do you pay most attention to on your Fred Whitton? Is it nutrition, pacing, or tech?
On the day?
Well, on the day or before. Is there something you start getting a bit twitchy about?
Nutrition, as you can probably see from my svelte figure, is something that I take very seriously, and that's just basically on the eat as much as you can scale.
Fuel, fuel. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
just everything in's coming out again.
Yeah.
So fuel, not so much on the tech. I had, the first time I did it, I was fairly new to cycling. I think it was 2013 or 14 that I did it, and I'd only started cycling in 2010 or 2011.
Right.
So my bike shop gave me a 32 tooth compact and said you'll need at least that to get up those hills. This is down in the time I was living in the south, so
so our hills were really green.
Thankfully he knew, and I'd ridden a few of them in the build up, so I knew what to expect. But so 32 tooth and as light a bike as I could get and make myself as light as possible. On the tech side, that's about all I had. So
based on the weight thing then, what is your favourite food? Because you and I both like food.
I don't like gels and kind of liquid stuff. I tend to like proper food, flapjacks,
cool.
Homemade stuff. Rice cakes are good.
Rory from Kendal Cycle Club really did hit home the importance of dates and nuts. And that is something I'm going to try. We have a shop that does really good flapjack, and I'm going to stock up and try
I think that's a really good thing. And Kendal Mint Co's really good as well.
A
number of times I've been not so much on the Fred this year, but the number of times I've been out on big rides and you reach into your back pocket and you've got one little slab of Kendal Mint cake.
Something's better than nothing.
It's good stuff. It's pound for pound the best fuel you can get, apparently.
Right then, breezing on. We've got the food. What's your favourite or worst part of the route or the event or the ride? Is there something that's like really amazing, or something that's really bad? Is there a bit you fear? Is there a bit you can't wait to get to?
A bit of both and everything, to be honest. I mean, the event itself is amazing. It's a completely unbelievable experience. It is unique.
It is an awesome course.
It's an awesome course, but I mean, aside from that, just the spirit of the people who line the roads, the fact that you get round to Coldfell and Team 13 have got like what is effectively a rave.
It's amazing, and you get there and it's a bit weird. What's going on?
This time last year it was belting it down with rain. We got the horrendous sideways rain just as we got to Coldfell, so we got to the top of that climb and just like having them effectively on the side of the roads with their cowbells raving, it was brilliant.
And the noise, they've got massive speakers, there's people handing out food,
exactly,
there's kids that are just delirious on jelly babies that they should be handing out to us. It's
probably
wicked.
Jelly babies, but yeah. So that bit's amazing. In terms of the actual race, not race, sorry, Jesus, it's not a race. The road itself, I mean, I love the section from the bottom of Honister to the top of Whinlatter, because I think those 3 climbs are the best 3 climbs in the race. I mean,
and it's exceptionally pretty as well.
Oh, it's beautiful. I mean, I actually prefer the other way up Honister. That's clearly the best way up the other 2.
Well, it's nice and slow while you get to see that amazing topography.
I mean, you've just got to be really careful on the descent. On it. My one tip for everyone doing the Fred for the first time is just be really careful on the descent.
Don't race the downhills.
Well, the first 200 metres off the top of Honister is off camber, bumpy and
really
stupidly
steep. And then it goes into a bridge.
And once you get past that bridge, you just let it go. Just flow down that valley. It's glorious. But yeah, so that section is probably the best bit. I mean, Hard Knot and Rhinos are things unto themselves. But
right, question 5 then. What's the best time? What is your best time?
What was my best time? I think it was about 8.5 hours I did it in the first time. I get why people like Rory and Helen, who are capable of riding fast times, go quickly around, because why wouldn't you if you can? But for most of us, it's just a big day out. It's a big day out. And actually, funnily enough, this year, so I was riding it, I had an injury. I'd had really bad cramp every time I'd ridden for a month, and I didn't really expect to get round, if I'm honest. I thought in my head I was getting to the top of Whinlatter, and then I was going to come back down and do there's like an escape route you can do back along Thirlmere and back to Grasmere. And in my head I was definitely doing that, but a friend of mine, Louise, and I were doing it together, and we said, right, we're going to go as slowly as we can. We're quite happy just to pootle around. It's 4 45 km bike rides. They're increasingly difficult, and the last one is stupid, but they're 4 45k bike rides. And doing it like that, we got around fine. It was amazing. I didn't get any cramp until I got to Rhinos, got to the last hairpin on Hard Knot,
Cool.
And got to the one thing you should know doing Fred for the first time on the day. You'll get to Hard Knot, you'll do that ludicrous bit in the middle where it's 10% but feels like a false flat, and then you get to the last bit and you can see it rising up above you, and you'll see Steve Fleming with his camera. And I dare you not to think there is no way I'm getting off my bike until I've got past Steve.
Or can I pop a wheelie?
Just get past Steve, and then so I got past Steve and then immediately abandoned. That's it, I'm done, I'm walking the last bit. Right,
question 6 then, because that could actually be the answer to question 6. What tips have you got for anybody that's doing the Fred?
I would break it down into lots of little rides and understand what's needed for each one. The first one's one big climb, the second one's lots of big climbs, the third one's loads more big climbs, and the fourth one's really big climbs. But if you break it down, it's much more manageable. Take it easy off the descents, especially when there's loads of other people around you. If it's, I mean, we were dry for most of it last time, but if it's wet, just really take it easy. There's no point falling off and hurting yourself. Lots of people do every year.
Aeroplane.
Oh yeah,
look at that. Can't see it.
That's off to Russia soon, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, let's hope it's off to Russia and not come from Russia. Right. Well.
Break it down and just enjoy it. Like, have a good time. If you go into it expecting it to be fun, you'll have fun. That's the most important thing.
Fantastic. Right. That is the end of the Q&A for Toby. His details will be in the description below. We haven't seen a car for the last 10 minutes, so we're going to go and ride some of these lovely Lancashire lanes. And Toby, me, and I certainly will. See you next time. Now then, how are we doing?
Well, alright, apart from being on a turbo trainer.
You caught me unawares. Let me turn the light on. But I forgot to ask you a question yesterday. Are you ready?
Well, in general or for the question?
For the question. Here it comes. Right, here it comes. Toby Cummins, do you shave your legs?
No.
That'll do then.
I'm not a pro athlete. No one massages me regularly, so no. Why should I?
That's brilliant.
Never done it. I'm sure at some point I've probably thought about it, but I mean, it just doesn't really make any sense. The aerodynamic gains I would have by having smooth legs are certainly massively outweighed by the aerodynamic losses I have by being overweight and wrong shape.
My worry is that once you start, can you ever go back?
Well, quite. And the reason that, don't get me wrong, it's aesthetically slightly more pleasant than hairy legs, but the reason why every pro cyclist shaves their legs is not for aero gains. It's because they get massaged every day, and it's much nicer for the person massaging them. I don't have that luxury, unfortunately. Even though my wife's a qualified masseuse. Well, she qualified in pregnancy massage, so I used to get quite a few kind of tester pregnancy massages, but it's probably not what the cyclists are after. They certainly don't need shaved legs for those.
And now you're full term, maybe you can't really benefit from it.
I'm well over full term now.
Right, well,
it's all paid for.
Well done. Right, I'll let you get back to your efforts. What are you doing today anyway on the turbo? Is it just tapping it out?
It's just tapping out zone 2 as part of the being full term thing. Just sitting on a turbo in zone 2 for long periods is probably the best thing I can do for keeping my shape in check.
Well done. Well, I look forward to catching up with you soon. Have a great ride.
Good to see you, Si.
Cheers, Turbo. Cheers, David. I called you Turbo. Turbo Toby. Yeah. There we go. Hashtag.
Up yours indoors.
All right. Stay cool. Take care.
See you later.